Hi, I'm Ananya. I'm a junior content manager with Trip 101. Hello and welcome to another episode of our Travel Talk series. Today, I'm very pleased to welcome Joydeep over here, who has joined me from Northeast India, the state of Assam. And we are going to be talking about another state that is tucked away in the northeastern corner of India, Nagaland. So before we do that, let's get to know Joydeep a little bit more. So welcome to you, Joydeep. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Hi, Pranam. I am Joydeep as introduced by Ananya, and I am a travel blogger. I run my travel website, thegypsycheering.com, and I write mostly about travel, adventure, treks, and about cultural experiences of Northeast India. I focus mostly about writing about Northeast India, but at the same time, I also write about my travels to other parts of India and sometimes of other countries. Yeah.
That's really cool because the northeast of India is definitely a part of India that a lot of, like, especially international tourists, I think, don't know about that much. So it's really like an important task to highlight that section and bring some focus to it.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I was about to share. Most foreign tourists, they come, they visit places around Delhi, maybe Punjab, and to southern part of India, Kerala, Tamil Nadu. But Northeast India is known for its diversity. If you come to Northeast, the diversity here is epic. So unique and so much to know for us locals at the same time for other people in other parts of India and the world as well.
Yeah, you're quite right. There's so much diversity in culture and people, and it's so vibrant and it has so much natural sort of wealth as well that I think a lot of people miss out on. I have
Exactly.
to admit that I have not been that side myself, so this is like a lesson for me too. I'm going to be taking a lot of notes from this session. Yeah. So, Jaydeep, tell me, why did you your website and your social media handles? You call yourself a gypsy. So, is that the type of traveler that you are?
Yes, the name is based on like gypsy in Assamese in my language. It's Zazabor. It means like a person who keeps traveling. And Tiring is my ancestral surname. So I belong from the Ahom community. Ahom, like Ahoms were the ones who ruled in Assam in northeast part of India from 1228 AD to it till the British, I think, came. Yeah, before that, Burmese came and invaded. So yeah, for about 600 years, the Ahoms ruled and united North. Chiring, my surname is Fukan, but my ancestral surname was Chiring Fukan. So that I made sure my roots and passion are together, and I merged it to name it my website.
Wow, that's really nice. The name combines your passion to out and see places, and then it's also connected to your roots, which is your ancestral sort of where you come from.
Exactly, culture is very important.
Yeah. So coming to the northeastern states, we're going to talk about Nagaland today. So how many of the states have you visited and which one is really like close to you?
Could definitely say Nagaland. We are talking about Nagaland today. I've been to Arunachal Pradesh, another beautiful state in Northeast India with Himalayas. Arunachal is as diverse as Nagaland, so another episode on that. Meghalaya is another state, one of my favorite states. Then I am yet to visit Mizoram, Manipur, and Tripura. Sikkim, I've just come back from Sikkim a week ago, so yeah, that's another favorite state of mine in Northeast. Of course, I forgot my own state, Assam.
Yeah. They're called the Seven Sisters, the northeastern states. You've already said four of them are your favorite.
Since I've visited, I can tell you that they are my favorite at the moment. And for me, every place I go becomes my favorite. He has seven sisters and one brother is Sikkim.
Yeah.
It's
Eight states, yeah. But even though we club them together in a way, each of them is very diverse in themselves and they have a unique culture and experience that they can offer. So let's talk about Nagaland. So how many times have you visited Nagaland?
I think I visited for 9 times. And mostly since I'm into treks and adventure, so I have been to Nagaland initially. I went initially for treks, eventually cultural experiences.
How many times?
And my
Oh,
first visit was in 2016 in September, and I It was my first visit to Nagaland, even my first trek ever, and I went to the highest peak of Nagaland. The altitude is 3,841 meters. One heck of an experience.
So why did you choose that as your first trek?
The main story is Nagaland, the station Dimapur, through which everyone can visit Nagaland, is halfway through. If I go travel from my home to Guwahati, I have to cross through Dimapur. I see the hills from the station while crossing that road. I often thought, when am I going to visit those hills? And the first trek and my first visit to Nagaland was to the highest of those hills, like highest peak of Nagaland. So that was one good story and
Yeah.
experience.
What is it about Nagaland? You've gone 9 times, so you must really like it there.
Absolutely. I feel like home.
So what is it about Nagaland? Like if I ask you to describe Nagaland and tell me what makes it special, what would you say?
First and foremost is the being a mountain lover. I prefer mountains over beaches. I like beaches. But then, yeah, back to Nagaland. The landscape, the terrain, it's beautiful. People often visit Shimla, Darjeeling, and other hill stations. But I would say come to Northeast and visit Kohima as well. It's so beautiful. And also, Kohima is the capital of Nagaland. The place, as I said, and the culture. There are, I think, 16 Naga ethnic groups, and each of them have their own local language, dialect. They speak their own language. The common language is Nagamese, which is a mix of, I would say, Hindi, Assamese, a bit of Nepali, a bit of Bengali, a bit of their own local dialect. So it's like a common language with which
Hmm.
other Naga ethnic groups speak with each other, like among the 16. So the diversity is this: you can, if you cross one
Hmm.
village to go to another village, the dialect will change. Yeah. So diversity, culture, landscape, and of course history. I would like to share that during the World War II, the British fought the Japanese, and the Japanese were beaten. They receded from Kohima. So there's a war cemetery in Kohima as well. So if you come, you should definitely visit the Kohima War Cemetery. And of course, culture, I said language, and the food, of course, it's very unique. I know a lot of people have misconception about the food in Nagaland, but you'll get to know the actual authentic traditional food here only if you come and visit. So that's the best way to open up your mind. Taste the best food here in Nagaland.
And so you've mentioned pretty much all aspects of like everything that can draw a traveler in, Nagaland has to offer. So the terrain is good. It has like rich culture as well as history that can be explored. There's great food. And you'll get to learn a lot about these various groups that stay over there. So it's quite rich in a way.
I just share the history that is written, but then their own, each ethnic group has, each Naga ethnic group in Nagaland, they have their own history, which like passed to the other generation through folklore mostly, but it's not
Hmm.
written. So to know that part of history is another world opening up if you come as a traveler, wanting to know the culture. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah. I want to know about the weather a little bit. So, in the 9 times that you have you visited around similar times of the year or have you visited at different points? So, how is it?
I've visited in the month of January, February. That's winter months here. And June and July is best for Dzukou Valley trek. So in the valley, it's known as the Valley of Flowers in Northeast. So like you'll find a lot of different kind of flowers here, local, and the special one is the Dzukou lily, found only in the valley in Dzukou Valley. So monsoon months like June, July till August, I would say Dzukou Valley is best for flowers. Or even
Hmm.
if you come during winters for treks, I'm saying for particular in treks, if you come around November and December, it will be very cold, of course. The water freezes in the valley, not
Hmm.
in the town, but in the valley. And the peaks like Jaffu, Mount Jaffu is another peak nearby Juko Valley. So the peak area, it's covered by snowfall. It also, so
Hmm.
the thing is, it also snows in Nagaland. Even Mount Saramati receives snowfall in winter. I went in September. In Juko Valley, the flowers bloom around June, July, August. But for Mount Saramati, I found flowers in September near the peak. There's another peak called Kapamadju in Peg district of Nagaland. And the flowers, it blooms around, I think, September month. They have recently conducted a festival there as well.
Oh, nice. Have you trekked in Nagaland amidst the snow also, like when in winter months?
Unfortunately, I haven't experienced snowfall, but while climbing Mount Jafu, around 3048 meters, not far from Cook, and I saw the snow, the slope was full of white. I touched it, so that was a unique experience, of course. But yeah, it did not like it was not snowfall. For like it snowed a week before my visit, so
It must have been very cold though.
yeah, too cold. Even while climbing the last part of Jaffo Trail, you have to hold on to ropes and use a bit of climbing skills. So the grips were so like too cold, and the wind that was blowing while climbing, it felt like a needle pinching us into the body. So it was that cold. Yeah.
Joydeep, how many treks have you done in Nagaland? I want to know about the different types there are. You've mentioned the Dzukou Valley trek, which is the Valley of Flowers, right?
It has its own magical experience. The starry skies, rolling hills. The hills, like the valley is very unique. Like you won't have tall trees in the valley. It's like small bamboo shrubs.
Mm.
And the entire valley is like one hill. You can share it in the photos, of course.
Yeah.
It's a very different landscape in the valley from the campsite. Juko Valley is for beginners, so like everyone can do Juko Valley trek. So that I would suggest everyone to come. I've seen kids and old aged individuals doing the trek. It's easily accessible from Kohima. All facilities are available. Mount Saramati, I won't suggest for beginners. I went as a beginner, but I would never suggest for a beginner to go to Mount Saramati. Since it's high altitude, since it's high altitude and the terrain is very unique, unlike other Himalayan treks where you continuously climb up, you keep gaining altitude. In Mount Saramati, climb one hill, go down. It's very exhausting, but beautiful. You won't get any water from the start of the trek till the base camp is near the water source. Locals take around 6 hours. Other trekkers would around 8 hours minimum. So that is for Mount Saramati. Mount
Mm.
Jafu and Juko is very nearby. I think Mount Jafu can be climbed by beginners, but at the same time, it's our difficulty level, I would say medium. The terrain is like Mount Saramati, but the last part it was difficult a bit because we went in winter. Yeah.
Mm.
And from what I have known from my local friends, there is summer in during monsoon. Jafu is not possible to trek because you'll find a lot of leeches. So, like
So that
people avoid. Also, it will be very slippery because of the slope and the climb.
it's a winter trek.
Yeah, I would say September, October onwards would be a good time, and
Okay.
winter would be a good time. I did Mount Jafu, Juko Valley. Yeah, these are the three treks. There's another peak called Kapamadju, but that was not a trek. You can drive your 4x4 vehicle, like a Jeep or a good vehicle till the top. So you can just, even the ride will be very adventurous because you'll be gaining altitude. And the peak is around, I think, 2600 something meters. So yeah, the view is very beautiful. I went in 2021.
So you have explored quite a bit, like three treks and with a vehicle.
Yeah.
And what about the Hornbill Festival? You mentioned attended that as well. I think that is the star of the shows that one can.
Yeah. In simple terms, instead of traveling to every district or every village of Nagaland to know about each Naga tribe, each Naga ethnic group, you can just come to Hornbill Festival and all the Naga ethnic groups along with other tribal groups like Kachari, all of them come together to showcase their culture in the festival. And the best part is it's conducted in a village called Kisama Heritage Village. It's a heritage village as in Morangs. I'll let you know about Morangs. Morangs are where before when there were no schools. So Morangs were the place where each Naga kids, boys and girls were trained. For girls, were different. Morangs and boys were different. Boys were taught skills about their culture, about hunting skills, and other
Mm.
skills. cultivation skills, be it culture, everything. And girls were taught weaving, about traditional clothes and other
Hmm.
skills. Those were the schools for them back then. But now that culture is fading since we are in contemporary world. Morang structures are very unique. Like morangs are small hut-like structures made of wood and all have different shapes. So the cultural aspects are engraved in it. So if you visit Kisama Heritage Village, you'll find morangs of all the Naga ethnic groups. And if you visit in off season, not during Hornbill Festival, those will be mostly empty but maintained. And when you visit during Hornbill Festival, each Naga ethnic group will be there representing their culture. You can try local food there. They will show the traditional tools they use for their harvesting, paddy cultivation, how their kitchen looks. You can try local drinks as well. So it will be there. And you can buy, there'll be souvenir shop during the Hornbill Festival. And if lucky, you can join their local dance. I did that last time. Very unique. That was about the Morangs. Apart from that, every day, since it's a 10-day festival from 1st of December till 10th of December, every day there's a small open space pavilion, right? The cultural performance are also performed there by each ethnic group, Naga ethnic group. So that is another unique experience. Again, evening there will be singing performances by the local singers at the same time, singers from other states and other parts of India and foreign performers as well. They come. Oh, and the best thing is this festival is not organized by local operators. So it's a government initiative. There's another festival similar to Hornbill Festival. It's in Assam called Karbi Youth Festival. Karbi ethnic group organizes that. It's one of the oldest. Yeah. So similar to that, but Nagaland, it's different. All Naga ethnic groups come together. If you visit a Morang, you'll get to
Hmm.
know another culture. So I think instead of having breakfast, dinner in your homestay or hotels, you just come to the festival and try local dishes, I would say.
You'll experience the hospitality of each tribe as well and try their food too when you go to the modems.
Exactly, yeah. The people, their culture, it's very unique. When you visit a Moran, they'll welcome you, or you can interact with them, know about them, and everyone will be in traditional dress. All the colorful dresses of Nagaland in one place.
How far is the heritage village, Kisama, from Kohima, the capital?
So first, if you're coming by flight, there's an airport in Dimapur and Guwahati. Guwahati is in Assam, Dimapur is in Nagaland. In Dimapur, there's also a railway station. You can get a public taxi from Kohima. From Dimapur to Kohima, it will take you around, I think, 1.5 hours maybe. The roads are very good now. And yeah, from after you come to Kohima, it's another, I think, 8 or 10 kilometers. I would say half an hour minimum. But during Hornbill time, traffic might be more because of tourists visiting Nagaland during that time. And for to stay during Hornbill Festival, you'll find homestays, campsites. I prefer campsites because it's readily available. Otherwise, homestays they get booked before 2, 3 months before the
Hmm.
festival because of the
Hmm.
demand.
Yeah.
One airport, at the Guwahati airport, I was telling, it's in Assam. It's far, like
Yeah.
5 hours by car or train. It takes around 5 hours from Dimapur to Guwahati. So
Hmm.
the nearest international airport, I think, I'm not sure whether Dimapur, whether international flight comes there or not. But Guwahati is for sure is the international airport. So you can get down there. You can take another flight to Dimapur or
Take a train.
train. By flight, I think it would hardly take around within an hour you reach Dimapur, so that would be
Hmm.
fast.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to know if one should get to Kohima, but I think you
Yeah,
get to Dimapur, then you navigate the rest of the state.
yeah. You'll get abundant vehicles to go to Kohima from there. And the most important thing, though, everyone needs to apply for this inner line permit. It would cost you around, it must be around 100 to 300 rupees, I think. Last time I paid it was 100. And that's one of that permit exists, the inner line ILP exists since the British time to this was done to preserve and protect tribes and ethnic groups here in. So
So,
one needs to get it. For Indians, it is ILP, and for foreigners, it is, I think, there's another permit, PA. I have to recheck that.
you have to get that permit in advance, right? Before you enter the state.
Yeah, but that's easy to get online. If you go through it offline, it takes more time. So it's better to get it online. It's fast.
On the Nagaland government tourism website, you should be able to find links to it.
Yeah. If you just search like Nagaland ILP permit, the website will come up. And what I have known recently from my friend who's from Nagaland, they said they are also issuing a Hornbill Festival app. So permits will be available through that.
It's easy to get the permit. I'm sure that both Indian travelers as well as those coming from abroad would be able to use the online platform as well as
Yeah,
the app to just get the before they get
exactly.
in, and then it shouldn't be a problem. Yeah. That was a detailed discussion on the Hornbill Festival, and I'm glad you could share all the details about like how to get to it and everything that you can see over there. That was really great. Yeah. For someone who's not visiting around the time for the festival, what else can they witness in Nagaland apart from the treks which you can do at various times of the year? There are some treks which you do in the summer months. There are others which you can also do in the winter months. But apart from it, what are the cities that they should be going to, or the towns that they should be going to, or any other spots that travelers should include?
You can start with Dimapur, and Dimapur has its history too. Like just like Ahoms who ruled part of Northeast, the Kachari kingdom, the Dimapur was the like their capital, coach, not coach, Kachari kingdom's capital. You'll find ruins there. There's a
Oh,
where there's a preserved area there where you can see the ruins of the forts there in different structures. So that is one. You can start with exploring that historical place in Dimapur, then head to Kohima, of course. As I
hmm.
said before, the War Cemetery is one place to go. It's walkable distance from the main town. So when I go to Kohima, I just go by walking around the town. And secondly, yeah, in Kohima itself, there are a state museum which you can visit. You'll get a glimpse of the culture in Nagaland, which we
Hmm.
can also do during Hornbill Festival. You can just come to the venue of Kisama Heritage Village and experience it in live. So
Yeah. But
museums,
in case you can't visit at the time of the festival, you can go to a museum and see part of their lives.
exactly, yeah. And there are other spots that I'm yet to go. There's a village called Konoma Green Village. It was because of its conservation efforts, it is considered as the first green village, if I'm not
Oh,
wrong. And
okay.
before hunting of like birds or wild animals were abundant, like in the 90s maybe. And then the village folks started conserving their place.
Hmm.
And for their conservation effort, even the government of India have given funds for them, like they've received support. So that is one place. It's called, I want to visit. There's another place called
Hmm.
Chuleki. Konoma is 20 kilometers from Kohima. And Chuleki is around 38 kilometers, if I'm not wrong. So yeah, Chuleki is another peaceful village full of greenery, just like Konoma. Terrace fields, and Konoma is like very off-grid. Chuleki I've seen in photos and I've read about it. I'm yet to visit. If possible, during this Hornbill Festival, I might I had to Juleki and Konoma. And the interesting thing about Juleki is you'll find this vegetable shops without its owner. Like you can just take what vegetable you want, and then you can pay the money inside a small locked box. You can insert it there. So the trust there, you can like
Yeah.
know. So that's very, and they also known for its peaceful river streams, picnic. It's like people go for picnics there, local
Hmm.
folks, of course, and they're also known for their fish breeding techniques in the paddy field.
Oh,
Yeah. And
so
in Nagaland, I guess you should come during paddy season, which must be around monsoon. For Nagaland, I would say if you come at any time, Your experience will always be unique because the place is very unique. The people are very unique here, and the culture, of course.
Yeah. I now want to ask you about the Naga cuisine, the foods that you have tried over there, because I think that's something also quite special about Nagaland.
Yeah, true. Mostly, it's like they use their own local herbs, spices, and it's mostly boiled food. During Hornbill Festival, I tried akoni, of course. Akoni are beans, and they are locally produced in Nagaland. And akoni made by the Sumi Nagas. Sumi Nagas are very popular and they make very well, they say. And I tried it in the Sumi Morang last time during Hornbill. It was tasty, and I bought a packet of akuni achar. Finished it very early at home. It was so tasty. And yeah, there's one restaurant you can try in Kohima when you are there. It's called Morung Kitchen. And I tried a local when I came back. I went to Nagaland again this year as well in May for Dzukou Valley. While coming back, I tried traditional food in Morung Kitchen. The non-veg, the chicken flavor is different from any other parts of, and the veggies, of course. Even Nagaland is very good for non-vegetarians as well. The local and all the vegetables are freshly plucked from their local market and local garden, and yeah, the taste should be obviously very healthy. Every food you have in Northeast would be healthy. I can guarantee that.
Okay. Have you also tried the special chili they have in Nagaland, the spicy one?
I have a special story about that. During my first Dzukou Valley trek in Nagaland, that was in 2019. I went with four of us were there, one from Uttar Pradesh, two from Kerala. So four of us went backpacking style to where we stayed. We can also rent a kitchen there, like a space where you have to rent firewood and carry your own food like dal, Maggie, whatever you want. You can cook by yourself. You can rent these utensils from there, from the kitchen available in Dzukou Valley. My local friend, that time we were not friends. We just met during that trip, and he offered two Naga chili, king chili. Okay, and my other friends they are not aware of how spicy, how hot the chili is, right? For four of us, we cooked Maggie and put both the chilies there.
Okay.
And after eating, our face were like vibrating like anything, like the spark, and our body warmed up though, warmed up our body. It was very cold. It was raining during those days, during that time. And yeah, my love for king chili started from that period onwards since 2019. Now I eat king chili arams.
Your friend was not a friend back then. He didn't give you any warning about how spicy it will be.
I know Naga chili, even in Assam, we call it bhut jolokia.
Hmm.
My mom used to eat it, and I was fascinated. So we gave it a try. I think my friend said yes, maybe they can endure it. Yes, they endured it. That was one good experience.
When you go back to, is there a dish with the king chili you like, or are most preparations made with that chili?
Not exactly, but they do put chili a bit. But if you tell the chef beforehand, the host beforehand, they will make it in a different way for you, less chili.
People not used to spicy and hot, like who can't handle heat, they should be careful before trying this.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's talk about this to stay for travelers who are visiting. You were earlier saying that when you have gone at the time of Hornbill, especially, you prefer the campsites because those are more easily available compared to the homestay options.
For the first few times, I would start from the first time I went in 2016. We stayed in a Dawn homestay in Kifuza area. In 2019, I stayed in a backpacking hostel, the Central Guest House. It was very cheap. And then Morang Lodge in Kohima is one. If you read my travel article and trek of Jafu pic, I added the photo. The view of Kohima from Morang Lodge is beautiful. You can see the entire town at the same time, the hills that are towering mountains nearby. You can see that. So for sunrise and sunset, the views are beautiful. And if you go ahead during Jaffa Trek, I also stayed in a place called, it's a homestay called Greenwood Villa. And the Jaffa Trek actually starts nearby that homestay. So you can stay there. Very beautiful again. And recently I went to this village called Jakhama. So to go to Dzukou Valley, you have to go to two trails, Viswema village and Jakhama. So these two are the routes. So I stayed in Jakhama village. The local friend that I shared that gave me kimchi, now they have their homestay in their village. So I stayed at their homestay, and the view from his homestay is very beautiful because it's deep inside the village and no sound of cars and vehicles. So it will be very peaceful. And you get like a panoramic view from their balcony. You should stay in Jakhama village, very peaceful. For campsites, there are abundant campsites near the Hornbill Festival, around 2-3 kilometers or around, yeah. And all have the tents are on sharing basis, like two-person in one tent, and there'll be bathrooms available, and food they offer it in the campsite itself.
Do you have to take other tents or do you have to carry your own?
They have their own tents. They provide tents, food, breakfast, and bathroom facilities, and charging points as well. And yeah, you can also, in few campsites, you can also carry your own tent. You have to pay
Hmm.
less that time because it's like
Hmm.
BYOT, bringing by your own tents.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
So mostly when you have gone for your treks and all, you have stayed at these small homestays which are in the nearby villages and
yeah,
from where the trek starts or the closest point from where
yeah,
you will be beginning.
yeah,
And these are like small accommodations from where you can definitely one be close to your trekking point where you start, and the
yeah,
other is that it's a peaceful stay with a local family, and they'll be providing you all the meals that you would have, right? Like it's that kind of setup.
yeah. So I prefer homestays because you get that local experience. You get to know
Hmm.
about your host, their culture, and of all the places I've stayed in Nagaland, I'm in touch with them. They're very good friends of mine. We talk about treks, mountains, of course,
Hmm.
and and just like Hornbill Festival, there's a festival for the Angami Nagas. So it's called Sekreni. I'm planning to visit it this next year. So let's see. So
So
that's
staying at
another.
homestays, you have definitely made a lot of friends, and you know a lot of
Exactly.
people in Nagaland.
My writing journey started from the Dzukou Valley experience in 2019. I wrote it. I connected new friends. I went for the Jaffo trek with a new friend I made. He read my travel article on Dzukou Valley. He said
Hmm.
he said you should come to Nagaland again. I said, of course, I want to do this trek and Jaffo trek. So he said, okay, plan, and we went ahead.
That's really nice that just by sharing your experience, you were able to connect with more people who wanted to travel that way.
Exactly, exactly.
Apart from the homestays, the campsites are definitely there when the festival is happening, the Hornbill Festival especially. So there are both sort of options over there in which one, the tents are provided, and the other in which you can carry your own gear, which can get a little difficult from people who are coming from far.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's great that there's an option for you just go to the campsite and everything will be there. Yeah, apart from the homestays, the campsites are definitely there when the festival is happening, the Hornbill Festival especially. So there are both sort of options over there in which one, the tents are provided, and the other in which you can carry your own gear, which can get a little difficult from people who are coming from far.
yeah.
But yeah, it's great that there's an option for you just go to the campsite and everything will be sort of there already.
And in Kohima town, there are good hotels as well. Good.
Hmm.
I think I'm not sure if there are five-star hostels, but then yeah, at least 3-4 star hotels would be there. A hotel that I know a name of is Jafu Hotel. It's named after that peak I climbed.
Okay. So there are these different types of accommodations that are available. If you're going at the time of the festival, then there would be the campsites. Then there are homestay options, which of course they get booked very quickly, I'm sure. And
Yeah,
then the hotels, which would be in Kohima, which is a little bit far away. But if someone's looking for a more like comfortable stay, then
yeah. I would also like to add that the homestay price might increase during Hornbill Festival because it's very on high demand, right? So yeah, in off season, in other times of the year, the price a bit less. and what it is during Hornbill Festival.
Joydeep, if I ask you about tips that you would like to share with people who are visiting Nagaland for the first time, what would those be?
First, come with an open mind and try to connect with and explore with local friends. Come bond with the locals, speak to them, build a rapport, and befriend them. Try to know about their culture and then exploring with them through to know a culture and to explore through a local's perspective is an experience. It's very different than a fixed itinerary or as a tourist. And yeah, first is that, of course. Secondly, stay in homestays. You'll experience local food, just the way the host, like their culture, the way they eat food. So you'll get their taste, the local cuisines. Third is just come, don't think much. Just come and start exploring, and you love Nagaland for sure. And whenever I go to Nagaland, I never feel like I've come from a different place. I feel like it's home, and it's not expensive if you know how to explore. Transportation wise, it's very easy to reach. Come to Dimapur, head to Kohima and explore. If you come to Nagaland as a first time traveler, you'll get to know a lot of things. Some might be surprising. Since I was a student of anthropology, I learned cultural relativism. You should never judge a culture based on our own cultural perspective. If they are practicing something, you need to try to understand the local way perspective. Come to Nagaland, the experience will be new. Yeah, yeah, that is one trip. And quick surprise for people who don't know that during the Saramati trek, the trek starts from a place called Thanamir village, and in Thanamir village they cultivate apples as well.
Oh.
So that is one unique thing I loved about the place of that trekking experience as well. And Saramati is very remote. It's like the main peak. There's a pillar there. On one side, it's written as Myanmar and Burma, and the other side is written as India. So its peak is like a border for India and
But
Myanmar. So you get to visit extreme corner of if you do the Mount Saramati trek. For first time visitors, if you want to experience culture, come during Hornbill Festival and other cultural festivals celebrated in different months of the year. Treks Valley, come during monsoon, you love it. During winter, it's beautiful too. You'll get frost, and if you're lucky, you get snow. Yeah, these are the tips.
hmm. You already mentioned about the permit that you can get that permit online
Yeah,
before you go. So that's easy.
yeah. I have
In
issued both offline and online. I recommend get it online because it's faster and convenient as well.
yeah. For trekkers, anything special that they should carry with them based on if even if they're going in the monsoon time? Is it cold and they should carry like jackets and stuff to keep warm?
Yes, exactly. In the valley, it's very cold. The water and temperature will also be cold. If it rains, it's colder. You need a down jacket for hikers and trekkers. Don't carry too much when you trek. Every hiker and trekker does. Carry less. When you start, keep a few things in the homestay. Ask your host if they allow it for free or book a room again and keep the luggage there. During the trek, carry less, wear less. A t-shirt and a small jacket would be enough. Otherwise, you'll sweat more. So yeah, at the valley, it's very cold. Even Jafu top, it will be cold. And Saramati, it's very cold as well. Even in Kohima and other villages, during the day, because of the sun, I think you can wear normal t-shirt and a light cloth, but then eventually it gets cold. So
Mm.
winter wear, if you come to Nagaland, is a must. And of course, the hilly part. Dimapur is the plain part. So if you start wearing jacket in Dimapur, you will sweat like anything. So don't wear. So Dimapur is hot, just like Guwahati. It will be very hot.
Get
So
to the key parts. That's
yeah,
when it's been great speaking to you and learning about Nagaland. You've shared so much information about the treks and the festival. It's been great learning from you. I'm down to my last question. For any traveler visiting, what should be the souvenir they take back from Nagaland? One item they can remember Nagaland by.
I actually bought a souvenir last year. Their traditional spear and their protective thing. It's beautifully designed. It's like a small wooden piece. I bought that If you come to Hornbill Festival, you'll get a lot of souvenirs. If you wish to buy traditional clothes, you can buy it in Dimapur itself. This it's a traditional Angami waistcoat that I bought it from Dimapur. I took it as a souvenir. You can buy traditional clothes, might be a bit costly, but then yeah, it's worth it. I gifted a shawl to my Angami shawl to my father, so he was very happy. All the souvenirs you'll get in Nagaland, it will have this cultural element in it, so that is the best part.
Traditional weaves they have,
Yeah,
especially in red and black colors. I can also see on your jacket.
exactly. I bought a similar souvenir, small souvenir that has red and black color in it, and traditional their spears and all. And you can also buy other stuff like wooden, what to say, the one you use to cook, right? Forgot
Uh,
what it's called.
the
Uh,
spatulas and all, the for cook.
exactly.
Okay.
Wooden thali. I bought a grounding wala that thing
Oh,
wooden.
mortar and pestle.
Yeah, and it's huge, like it is much, half of your hand size. And yeah, that works very good. Instead of the sound of that metal hitting, like I bought that and I've been using it at home.
Oh, nice.
All kind of souvenirs are there.
And if you want to carry something that you can also eat, then that pickle that you mentioned, the akoni pickle.
Exactly. Apart from
Mm.
Apuni pickle, you will get Naga king chili pickle as well.
Mm.
Food, food decorative pieces as souvenirs or something to use is the way I bought. So something to wear. So everything will have some culture thing in it. So that would be very unique and it would remind you of Nagaland.
Handmade items that they do and wooden
Yeah,
work, things made out of bamboo and all. So those would
exactly.
make for great souvenirs.
Exactly. The best part is they are handmade. All the jackets and all are hand weaved. Everything you'll hear is pure. Innocence, culture, everything is pure. Authentic. Yeah.
That's great. Thank you so much for joining me today, Joydeep, and sharing about your trips to Nagaland, not just one. It's been great speaking to you, and I wish you all the best for your upcoming visit to Nagaland for the Hornbill Festival again. I hope you have as much fun as you had in your previous trips.
Thank you so much. Yeah, excited to meet my old friends, old Naga friends, and it's like the festival is like reunion for most of us. Our local
Hmm.
friends there, and from other parts of Assam, they come, we meet there, not in Assam, but there.
That's so nice. I'm sure viewers will find all the information useful. If anyone wants to know more or plan a trip, they can reach out to you and go with
Definitely.
you.
And they can read about the treks, Kohima and Nagaland on my website, thegypsychilling.com. All the articles, detailed guides are there. I've written my experience and guide there.
With that, sign off for today. Thank you so much and bye bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.